Mi kamocha Adonai, mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neidar, mi kamocha neidar.
Have you ever wondered what is a rabbi and what do they actually do? Is a rabbi just a Jewish man with a beard, a learned elder surrounded by all of his books? Well, perhaps some, but a rabbi can be so much more. And what does a rabbi actually do? What do they do when they're not in the pulpit, when I can't see them on Saturday morning? Well, I hope that as you listen for the next several minutes to some of these experienced rabbis and rabbinical students, that you would reflect upon what they are saying and consider that a rabbi can be so much more.
You know, you feel as a rabbi that you really have access and interaction with holy drama in the lives of other people.
I can't think of anything better to be able to sit down and say, do you want to see how all of these little pieces pull together? All these things that don't make sense to you, all these things that make you feel alienated from your Bible, from pursuing a spiritual path that makes you want to throw it out the window. Let me show you something very cool.
The rabbi's role is a very privileged role because you get to walk through the life of a community, and people really trust you to be an effective and a compassionate guide to them.
What a rabbi does is links people not just with information, but tries to link people with each other and with God.
We're not necessarily giving answers, but coming alongside of people and walking with people through the joys and the sorrows of life.
After becoming a rabbi, I've come to find how multifaceted the role can be.
A rabbi can be an academic, a rabbi can be bivocational, can just serve as sort of a consultant on matters to either individual groups or on matters of halakha.
My gifting and wiring and ordination as a rabbi really affects other professional areas that I'm involved with. So in my work as a therapist, my shingle is out to the public.
I have various kippahs that I wear, and one is that I'm a lawyer. And a lawyer, of course, is a counselor. And I can't divorce my role as a rabbi from my role as a lawyer.
I'm very deliberate about being out in what I would call the proximity to the troops, people who are in the trenches in very high stress and in sometimes crisis situations.
The reading and study that I do in ethics, in our Jewish ethical tradition, in the teachings of Messiah, all of that definitely comes to play in my day-to-day.
A lot of people think of rabbis as being clergy, but really that's a role that's evolved within the last century.
When somebody says to me, I want to become a rabbi, the first thing that I need to do is say, what kind of rabbi?
The foundation for any kind of a rabbi is a familiarity with Jewish texts, with Jewish life.
I would say that Jewish text study and engaging with the tradition of our people, and the liturgical tapestry, if you will, of our people, I find to be an essential part of being a rabbi.
There's something about being a rabbi that is different from being a pastor of a church. You have a different cultural legacy to honor. You have a different cultural context and covenantal context to inhabit.
We're having this discussion together. We're pulling out these ancient sources and seeing this process unfold. And that is really fulfilling.
Something needs to be brought to birth and something needs to be kept alive. And that's, so I guess being a rabbi is being a spiritual midwife, and it's great stuff.
I felt somewhat of a calling. I mean, not a strong billboard in my face, hey, you do this. Not a voice in my head, but just a feeling in my gut.
Being a rabbi, serving as a rabbi, doing the work to become equipped and ordained and recognized as rabbis is one of the most satisfying life courses that I can imagine.
At the end of the day, it's a process, but it's a joyful process. And I feel so privileged to be a rabbi that it could live out that process within the context of such a lofty vocation as serving the Jewish people, and particularly the segment of the Jewish people who embrace Yeshua.
The Rabbinate found me, and I'm glad we found each other.
I thought that I could serve the community in a better way if I was officially recognized as a rabbi. I would have more confidence that I had the skill set and that I had the recognition of my peers.
Courses that I've taken at MJTI, they've given me a deeper understanding of what it takes and what things I can do and how I can enhance the life of the congregation.
I've learned mostly through doing and through having hands-on experience and having the support of other leaders.
Having gone through the MJTI, having taken all the classes that I took, interacting with all the various rabbis, I think it was very, very helpful.
The education they receive, that the rabbis who train them are passing on to them the traditions of the past.
One of my professors at MJTI said something that really impacted me. He said that theology is meaningless unless it changes how you live.
The degree itself is just a beginning stage for learning. It's the jumping off point where you can have the tools and the resources to be able to make a deeper study your lifelong goal.
What's really important is being willing to be changed.
You can't share what you don't have. And what we share is not simply information. That would be, a book can do that. We share a life, and therefore we need to be living that life, both on the Jewish side of maintaining our cultural legacy, but also on the affective side, the relational side of a palpable relationship with God.
We need you. The Jewish community needs you. So if God is calling you to the rabbinate, don't push him away.
Mi kamocha Adonai, mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neidar, mi kamocha neidar.